This is supposedly J.K. Rowling's worst nightmare. You ready? Dobby the house elf slave, and he's saying trans rights and burping. I don't know what it is with him being obsessed with being as like physically vile as possible. Um, and then Anisa dressed up as Alan Rickman. I guess she does a pretty good job. There's not really like any synergy between the two costumes besides just making him look gimpy. But then he says this.
You see, she's in the darkness. She's haunting me. Gobi.
She does kind of look like Alan Rickman though. That's pretty good. They should just They should cast her. They want to make everyone like black and like gender swap them. Cast Anisa to be Snape. She's kind of evil too. She's got that vibe. What is she doing?
Gobi loves a sexy Snape. Gobi's in the femdom.
It is definitely like a fetish. I heard that she failed to get her leg up. Watch.
Gobi loves that.
She tries to like get it up and then she can't do it because she's like inflexible.
Oh,
she's inflexible. She's unable to get her leg up. As foretold, Idubbbz has, for whatever reason, and I have an extraordinarily intelligent and good opinion as to why Idubbbz has done this. Idubbbz has made a video called Coming Clean, which is 24 minutes long, and at least half of it is solely dedicated to PPP. Andy Worski makes an appearance too, but it's the Kino Casino, mostly focused on what PPP says. The gist of it is that PPP is lay evil for making fun of his wife, for daring to insinuate that Anisa has done anything wrong that has been a detriment to his career or future or happiness. As expected, that has only bolstered PPP. They have since posted, I don't have these pictures ready to go because I just saw them, but apparently PPP and Andy Worski, after their amazing night where they made $5,000 in like a couple minutes, went out and had a 5-star day where they had fancy dinner wearing a suit, and they posted pictures of it to thank Idubbbz for his contributions to their war fund. Very funny. But what does he actually have to say? His main complaint is that internet goblins like PPP have decided to make a mountain of a molehill with his life, and it's not fair to him. And in particular, he makes a point that is very indicative, I think, to his mindset. Let me think of how I want to word this. So I think that obviously, I think most people would agree, Idubbbz is not totally convinced that he has made the correct choices in life and that his life is progressing in the way that he would want it to. How could he think that? He's ridiculed by everybody. He's reviled. He's lost all of his fans. He doesn't have the income that he has. And he basically just moved into his wife's mother's house in Canada. So by every metric possible, he's going in reverse. But for whatever reason, he maintains to the public that he is happy with where he is. He's happy with where he's going. He believes he's made the right decision. And I have a theory for that. In this video, he calls himself stoic twice. He says that he's stoic. This is a man who cries on camera, who becomes so overwhelmed just thinking about Anisa that he starts to cry. That's not stoic. That is the opposite of stoic. I don't know what the opposite of stoic would be called, but it's Idubbbz, basically. But for some reason, he has called himself stoic. And my interpretation of this is that that's how he sees himself, obviously, or he wouldn't say it. But he sees that he has made a change for the objective better. And he is suffering as a consequence of his past wrongs. And his stoicism is not actually acting like a man in any way, shape, or form. His stoicism is that he takes the slings and arrows in his path of self-betterment and does not relent and does not change course and does not consider any criticism valid whatsoever. That's his idea of stoicism. He literally sees himself as a Christ-like figure. He is carrying the cross of the N-word on his back. The Roman soldier PPP is standing there with a corded whip, flogging him as he walks through the streets, as the Pharisees jeer at him and say, look at this liar, look at this charlatan. And he says, like, he is a good person, he's in a better place, and he just can't prove it to people because they'll always try to find the worst in him. And so he knows that he thinks that all the negative criticisms he receives are people who can't accept the fact that he has reached progressive nirvana, and instead are simply trying to rip him down and make him a low person like they are. And I base this off of one thing that he says. He takes issue with PPP saying something to the effect of, Anisa shouldn't talk about her father having dementia, because if she talks about her father having dementia, people on the internet will make fun of it. Should it be that way? No, probably not, but that's how it is. And my interpretation of what PPP is saying is what I feel is pretty obvious, that it's not that making fun of people altogether is bad, but making fun of somebody for a medical condition that they didn't choose to acquire, that was inflicted upon them and that they cannot help, is cruel. And it's especially cruel to go after somebody who has absolutely no involvement with the public shenanigans for a medical condition that they can't control. But PPP knows and is correct that people will do it anyways. So therefore, Ian should also know this, and Anisa should also know this, and they should know to keep her father's medical conditions out of the public eye because it will get made fun of. And that's correct. Everything about that is correct. But he interprets this differently and very broadly and very incorrectly, in a way that is so incorrect, I'm forced to assume that this is a reflection of what he himself thinks. He says that he most of the video is simply trying to call PPP a hypocrite, because from that statement and how he interprets it, PPP is saying non-inclusively that bullying, and he uses the word bullying, so I'm not being uncharitable here, that's his word for it, bullying is wrong, and that PPP does not consider himself a bully. And this video is mostly Idubbbz trying to prove to PPP that he's a bully, which apparently he believes is wrong, which is obviously not true. PPP knows that, or does not think that bullying is bad, but rather, as I mentioned, going after unrelated people for things they can't even help is really cruel. And he does not consider himself someone that does that. But to Idubbbz, this is a necessary articulation, because in his mind, as I said, he has taken the objective path of truth and goodliness. He is a good person and not like those trash people or bad people, which is everyone he disagrees with on the internet. So he takes this as an admission from PPP that acknowledges, it's sort of like in a very religious concept, that Christians will often say this when arguing with atheists, that atheists recognize God but just reject him. This is PPP recognizing his goodliness but rejecting his goodliness, because if, as he says, they would have to face their own demons. If they recognize that Idubbbz is such a good and changed person now, they would have no excuse but to look inwards, confront their demons, and recognize they too must become more Idubbbz-like, more Christ-like, more Ian-like, because he is such a good person. That is literally what he's saying, that he is Christ-like, bearing his cross, and he is challenging people who recognize that he is Christ-like to be more Christ-like themselves. That is his actual point in this video. And I'm not going to watch a 24-minute long video. That's not what I do. That's what PPP does. And then they pause and laugh and eat steak. They have a much better time than me. I just summarized. If you want to watch this and come to your own conclusion, please go ahead. It's on his channel. He's not deleted this out of shame yet. So if you disagree, let me know. That's my interpretation. And that explains why he's so stubborn. because he thinks that he's cracked the code, that he's found truth, and that the truth comes from doing whatever Hassan Piker wants him to do. Forgive them, Hassan Piker. They know not what they do. And it's his job to be stoic and to take the slings and arrows because that's his lot in life now. And it's the most bizarre thing. And I'm not even sure where it comes from. I don't know why it makes him feel good to be. Well, actually, I do know. I had a theory for this. My theory for this is that he has, when he says, this is another thing that tips his hand. He says that PPP has to look inwards and face his own demons. I hit the mute button. And that's exactly what he doesn't want to do. He desperately does not want to look inwards and realize he's his entire life up for no reason. Because if he were to take a second and think, wow, is all this shit gay and retarded? Have I made a fool of myself for nothing? Have I profited nothing off this endeavor? Have I actually been wrong this entire time? That's really hard to do. There's a lot of people in the world, in the history of the world, who have had to make similar internalizations like that and who never did and died, never making those internalizations. So in the same exact way, he's saying, don't you cyber bullies want to look inwards and realize that I'm right and bullying heckin' sex workers isn't cool and being a chud isn't cool and, bullying is just wrong? Don't you guys want to look inwards and reconcile your demons? Because he has to avoid reconciling his own crisis of faith in Anisa Jama and as Hassan Piker. So it's an incredibly pathetic thing. And one of the other things that he did, by the way, is that he went on and on while simultaneously condemning bullying being wrong. He said that he slandered his ex-coach, said that he was a disgraced former coach, called his wife dumber than rocks. So here you have a woman who's fighting human sex trafficking and childhood forced marriage. And he's just like, these people are dumb and they're liars and they're thieves. And then he conjures up this conspiracy theory that they believe that they were owed $5,000 as a bonus from Idubbbz that they never received. So on the spot, H3 said, you know what, I'll pay that $5,000. You guys just made me more than $5,000 anyways on the stream, so whatever. So Idubbbz's conspiracy is that H3 bribed them to lie and to mask the lie that the fake show that H3 was orchestrating. He did this whole contract thing as an excuse to give them $5,000 under the table or over the table, but in a way that was justifiable. So he basically accused them of taking a bribe from H3 to slander him. And it's such a bizarre accusation because it's like, if it was pay for play, why would they not simply get paid not publicly? Nobody would know that they received $5,000 from H3 unless they had access to their bank details. And why would they have access to their bank details? Why would you have to go through this lie? But for some reason, Idubbbz insists that this is the entire motivation. And then after this video, where's my notes for that? Sorry. After this video, in the meantime, actually, no, let's skip to this. He did a live stream on Twitch where he decided that he would watch the entire interview between his boxing coach and wife and H3 and do a commentary on it. And after 6.5 hours, he stops watching the stream. Now, if you watch that stream, you would know that they go after like what had happened, some goss in regards to Anisa being the most insufferable person on the entire planet, some goss in regards to Idubbbz being stinky. But then at a certain point towards the end of the stream, the entire last quarter of it is dedicated to the fact that, dedicated to the story of his wife, his coach's wife, who explains in agonizing detail how she was brought over as a Hmong from Cambodia, or I think not from Cambodia, but from Vietnam. And while she was in the custody of her aunt, she was sold as a sex slave as a child to another Hmong man. And because child marriage had no age limit at the time, and because marital relations were never considered statutory, It was effectively a form of legalized child, and she was impregnated twice by this man in a unwanted marriage before she managed to get away from him. But she was already like 20 something when that happened. It's just an agonizing story. She's brought to tears like several times. And she explains all this because her greatest offense, and probably the actual reason why they flipped on Idubbbz so hard, is that after all this, and after Idubbbz didn't pay them the money, and after Idubbbz failed to promote his boxing instructions altogether, basically depriving him of what he actually wanted, they asked for one favor. Please retweet our campaign to have a statutory limit on the age somebody can get married in California. Because if you remember, Planned Parenthood was telling the politicians, and all the politicians in California are on Planned Parenthood's payroll, apparently. Planned Parenthood was obstructing reducing this because they were concerned of a puritanical spiral, where if we lower the age of consent for marriage, then abortion might be next. They might prohibit children from getting abortions, or abortions under a specific age. So Planned Parenthood was obstructing criminalizing child marriage in California, and she needed bigger guns to get this issue as much noise as possible so that Planned Parenthood could be defeated in California, which effectively is their home turf, right? So she needed every little tweet that she could get. And she asked the Jomas, please retweet my campaign to end child sexual slavery in the United States. And they left her on red. They left her on red. They didn't even reply. And no, they did not retweet her campaign to end child sexual slavery in California. And that's probably why she was so ready to tear into them every step of the way during this H3 interview. And right before we get to this point in the stream where Idubbbz would have to commentate over the sexual slavery of his boxing coach's wife and her story and how Idubbbz left them on red, he said, well, it's pretty late. Gotta go, guys. Good stream. Bye-bye. And he didn't cover it at all. Because he knows. He knows there's not any way he could explain that shit. So that's what he did. So here's the synopsis, gracefully provided by Osama bin Laden. Happy 9/11, by the way, Osama. Big fan. After a 6.5 hour long stream, this is what the summary is. Anisa's husband is averaging 2K viewers. He usually gets 3,000 per stream, also known as 1/5 of a PPP at this point. The video Anisa, I'm just going to say Ian. The video Ian is reacting to is 3 months old. That's the H3 video. Anisa is active in the stream the entire time. I think it's the chat. Ian has a lie counter. So he had like a little text thing on the screen, like what I've been doing. That would be like lie counter 1, and then he would update it 2, and then 3, and then 4. Every time the coach said something that he disagreed with to like epically own him or whatever. Ian confirms everything that the boxing coach said about him. He just coped it. So he did say he was stinky. He did say he didn't take baths. He did say that his breath stank. He basically admitted that the coach was right about everything while complaining and calling him a liar. Ian is upset that the coach found his music choice gay. Sorry, it probably was. Ian confirms he smells like shit, doesn't shower in between boxing sometimes. Anisa makes vague allegations. Is this like a clip that I can play? Oh, yeah.
Now, I want to ask you something. It's alleged by Anisa herself that Ian has both bad breath and he shits in his pants.
Dude, look at that face. Look at he's such a miserable person. And he coped about this in his video, by the way. He coped about how he just has resting bitch face. It is not normal to look like you're one bad thought away from blowing your brains out. And he looks continuously like he's just the angriest person that has ever lived.
Frequently.
This is epic. I'll address all of the shitting in pants allegations when I come back from my pissing in pants piss. For piss? You weren't shitting your pants, were you? All right, let's listen to this. So again, it's one of these things where like this shit isn't even original. Like back after Creator Clash 2, I was doing a 24-hour live stream to raise money for the charity. So the charity's got some amount of money. We raised around $175,000. And I'd never done a 24-hour live stream. I was tired. I was very tired. Everyone who was there can attest to that. But there was this moment where Anisa very casually said, like, have you always shit yourself or shit your pants or whatever? I think we shit your pants. Have you always been shitting your pants? I think that's what it was. And, like, it didn't even register to me as, like, something I should be ashamed or embarrassed about. Like, you could see my face. I basically just go, like, what? Well, I guess I don't even think I have a reaction. Yeah, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I have zero reaction. I just go, no. Like, I was, like, super casual. But I knew what Anisa meant when she said that, which is why I was very casual about it, is she just says, like, shit your pants as in, like, you know, you need to take a shit. I don't think it was, like, obviously the internet likes it because it makes me look like I shit my pants. But
this came up multiple times. There are multiple clips where Anisa openly states that Ian has fecal incontinence and will shit his pants and has shit his pants, not just because he's incontinent, but because he has a gastrointestinal issue. And if he eats anything that contains a certain ingredient, it might even be gluten, he has horrific irritable bowels and will shit himself. Like, this is not a misinterpretation or a literal interpretation of a turn of phrase that is common parlance or whatever he's trying to say. She literally said he has irritable bowel syndrome, and if he eats gluten or some shit, he will shit himself. And in fact, it's not even like gluten. He's saying that it was like multiple things. There's like a whole laundry list of things that Ian can't eat because he will shit himself. So no, it's not rumor. She said it like on 4 different occasions.
whether or not I shit my pants on here. I think that's too low. Yo, what up, Grizzly Bears? Good to see you, dude.
Shout out, Grizzly Bear.
Bad breath, and he shits in his pants frequently.
Yeah, this is why I didn't include it in my video. Like, what the hell? Like, I have to answer to I have bad breath. I'm like stinky and I shit myself. Like, that seems like really like feeding into the trolls. Those ones.
Do you have any data on that? Having been in close proximity with him?
No.
So I don't want to just talk shit about him, but like there would be times, for example, before the first event, where he was talking about getting tonsil stones, and he was saying he was going to get strep throat because he had tonsil stones. And I said, Ian, tonsil stones don't cause strep throat. Tonsil stones are because you're not brushing your teeth. And so he was like, oh, okay, hygiene. And I'm like, yeah.
Well, I mean, he didn't have that conversation with me. Like it's tough. I'll give you the stinky. The stinky is okay because honestly,
it's a very awkward conversation to tell a grown man to brush his teeth and don't shit himself, bro, and take a shower. That's you need to bring in an expert for that. You have to bring in an expert for that conversation.
I was a little stinky when I was training for boxing. I'm not gonna fight it. You know, body odor is a thing, and I didn't always in between going to the first boxing session at the start of the day and the next boxing session at around like 4 or 5 o'clock. I didn't always get to the shower. So I will accept the stinky label, but not any of this other shit.
Okay. We have brought in a Man at the Internet correspondent for some help here for Mr. Jamha to understand what needs to be done to take care of oneself. Here we go.
Stinky. I have a sensitive nose. So if you are stinky, I can tell. Sniff, sniff. I get a whiff of you and ew. Go shower.
The only good VTuber clip. Okay. Stinky. Sniff, sniff. Anisa makes vague allegations of Ian's coach being inappropriate to her. Wonderful. Oh yeah, everyone's a pedophile that doesn't like you, huh, Anisa? Anisa is never mean to her husband except for the poopy pants thing, because she does say, I'm sorry about the poopy pants thing, I didn't mean it. But she did explicitly say that he had IBS and would shit himself if he ever ate anything. Ian blames shitting his pants for losing to Dr. Mike. Cool. Ian calls his coach a broke bitch for accepting $5,000 from Ethan Klein. Sorry, I thought we were eating the rich here, Ian. Ian admits he was reading hate comments and hate videos while at the coach's house for Thanksgiving. That's embarrassing. There's a big tangent in the original H3 about how his wife had never had a Thanksgiving dinner before, so she went all out and did all the cool Thanksgiving stuff to like fully integrate into American culture or whatever. And they invited Ian and Anisa, and they showed up and were just like complete assholes about it the entire time. And then he just confirms, yeah, I was like watching YouTube videos of PPP while eating Thanksgiving dinner lovingly prepared by this Hmong woman. Ian admits Ian had a BPM of 40 to 42, and that's why. Oh, Anisa had a BPM of 40, and that's why she thought she had anorexia. I think the main symptom of anorexia nervosa is that you're not eating. Anisa loves Jews. Okay, there's a whole scene about how they called her anti-Semitic because basically she hated every Jewish person that they knew. So now she has to say that she loves Jews. Jews rock, bum, 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 bum. Ian admits he doesn't give a fuck about anti-child marriage law that his coach was pushing because his coach asked him to be a guarantor on a loan for a gym that his coach planned to open. And Ian admits this at the tail end of the stream. And then he sends his followers to Hassan. Okay, so one thing that they did ask of him that was completely inappropriate as far as I'm concerned, and they were completely within their right to say no to, was that they asked Ian to guarantee a business loan for them. That is totally inappropriate unless you have like a really strong business relationship already established. Never, ever, ever, ever. I'm telling you this right now. This is financial advice, okay? I'm acting as a fiduciary when I say this, okay? Never co-sign a loan for anybody. Don't do it for your mom. Don't do it for your best friend. Don't do it for a random person you trained for boxing one time. Don't do it for your coach when you got trained for boxing that one time. Never, ever, ever co-sign a loan. Because guess what? If they don't pay, you're going to be paying for something you don't want that somebody else benefits for it, like a cuckold. So never do it. But as far as I'm not going to tweet your anti-child like that's the most petty, insipid bullshit ever. Like what an excuse. And then there was a Hassan thing. I want to see if anyone uploaded that. This isn't the community thing. There was a video of where Hassan reacts to getting the viewers, and it's really funny. I don't know if I'll be able to. Oh, right now. Oh, I'll play this.
Anything along those lines, but
I'm putting this at time and a half, by the way, in case you're wondering.
Specifically, she messaged me about this child marriage thing, and this was after Creator Clash 2, and it was very importantly right after Michael Briggs requested that I be his guarantor on a loan to open like a boxing gym. And I don't know if you guys know what that means. That basically means he's asking me to be responsible for like debt if he isn't able to like pay the loan. Now, this, I want you to keep in mind. He said how embarrassing, humiliating it was that I was doing this like live stream to make up for the fact that we lost money on this event and money didn't go to charity. He was aware of what was happening. He knew that I lost my match. I hadn't been making videos or making any money, and that obviously I've been having a hard time online. I made my apology. Things were rough for me. But he comes in with his request of, hey, you mind being my guarantor on this loan? Meanwhile, he has no problem messaging me that. But I guess he couldn't message, hey, I could use that $5,000 bonus that you promised me. She, by the way, was very deliberate in saying that I promised her that. Like, that is, like, very specific language that she's using. That didn't happen. So I was extremely offended when he messaged me requesting that I be his guarantor on a loan. I did not have any, like, the idea of supporting him in that way was, like, not, like, it was just offensive. It's like, oh, you literally aren't even acknowledging that I lost a tremendous amount of money on this event. I didn't say that. But I was short with him. I said, like, in no world would I ever be able to do that because I wanted to express, like, very clear boundaries. And I did. And I don't know how long later it was. I wasn't done being angry about it for sure. But Kate did message me about, like, a child marriage bill thing. And I didn't pass it along to Anisa. I looked at it and I closed it. So was I being, like, negligent to that relationship? Sure. But no, Anisa and I don't support child marriage or whatever crazy story that they're spinning. I was just angry at them, and I was like, you guys, I'm not going to be boxing anytime soon, and yeah, I'm done with this shit. But at least for the child marriage thing, like, they didn't message Anisa about that shit. That was definitely a me thing, me being, like, just kind of angry and uncaring about it, like, whatever. So, I mean,
They knew, by the way. They knew that she was a child sex slave, and they knew how important that kind of like activism was to them. And he was just like angry about being asked to guarantee a loan. Like, I don't know. I could understand it if his reaction was super negative and it was like, after all I've done for you, you won't put your entire life on the line to give me what I want. No advantage to you whatsoever. Like, that's kind of retarded, but that's not what happened. I also like how he has to like get it co-signed by Anisa. Like, he can't decide, oh, I'll tweet to support ending child sexual slavery by myself. He has to have Anisa co-sign on that, as if Anisa would object to it at all. Anisa would say, no, don't support ending child sexual slavery. Or like, I have to audit this charity first before I permit you to do it. I don't want to support a bad charity. I don't know. Maybe she does. You know, she is a Muslim. The Prophet Muhammad, according to the most important of all the hadiths, held in equal regard to the Quran by some sects of Islam. The hadith says that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, married a 6-year-old and her at 9. So maybe she doesn't support ending child marriage. I don't know why that's not a more popular thing to say. If the Prophet Muhammad can 9-year-old, why can't some random Hmong man after the holy matrimony of marriage? Doesn't make any sense to me, Chad. Doesn't make any damn sense to me. It's also, just to move on, I've said all that I can say about this shit. She started doing OnlyFans again, like around the same time. So maybe this is like also trying to promote her OnlyFans. He had twice the subs than the last time I played a clip of him. So he's up to what? Like $2,000 generously, maybe $17.50 a month, which is not enough to survive in Canada or pay rent in Canada. So moving to Canada is going to hurt them even more financially. But probably in part that also to promote her OnlyFans. Of course, I think I failed to mention last time. I might have, but you know, even if I did, let's hammer this home. OnlyFans is like the #1 pro APAC, owned by rabbis. Just super Jewish Zionist organization. And there's like alternatives to it. There are alternatives to OnlyFans. It's a multi-billion-dollar a year company that has the highest profit to employee ratio in the world. And that's not a joke. NVIDIA is like the second runner-up and doesn't make, like, the amount of money that OnlyFans makes versus the number of people that they employ is so great. It like is twice the amount of money that NVIDIA and Google make per employee. So it's an incredibly profitable business, and there are people copying it. All you're doing is selling ass pictures. And it's like, you're going to stick with the one platform that is like backed by an ultra Zionist, like the most famous thing it's ever used for. You have very little options in how you impact certain things, right? Boycotts in the modern world aren't too effective because everything's owned by the same handful of companies. But when it comes to something as rudimentary as selling pictures on the internet, OnlyFans has competition, and you don't have to go through them. You don't have to do it at all, really, if you want to know the truth about it. So the decision to like be so lazy that you're just going to stick with OnlyFans when it's everything that you're against, supposedly, just because you have to sell butt pictures. And it's also, it's like, it's so dehumanizing. And they made a point that OnlyFans is like, being against feminism. It's the exact opposite. If you don't know this, I would like to inform you that OnlyFans is a false idol and a lie that is seriously harming young girls. The top 1% of creators on OnlyFans makes 33% of all income. So for every $100 spent on OnlyFans, 33 of those dollars are going to just the top 1%. This is a type of economic stratification that is more top 1%er oriented than the modern economy. The top 10% of creators on OnlyFans earn 75% of all money spent. So out of $100, 75 is going to the same top 10% of people. The overwhelming majority of people on OnlyFans make less than $200 a month. They are brought in by this idea, oh, I can be like Bella Dolphin and I can sell my booty pics, and I won't have to be an actual whore, but then I'll make like $20,000 and I'll be debt free in a year and I can just retire. And it's like they're brought into this. They sell their dignity. They commercialize their body. They subject themselves to serious future risk because people do try to dox people on OnlyFans, and then you're known as a prostitute. And feminists do not support OnlyFans. It is literally a lie sold to little girls that they can circumvent short-term economic problems by simply becoming a digital prostitute. And those people at the top, like when it comes to male attraction and coveting male attraction, the most attractive women are going to get the majority of men, the top 1%. And the other 10% of people that make the other lion's share of the income, do you know what they do? They do one-on-one conversations, which Anisa is never going to do. She's already past her prime. She's not that attractive to begin with. She's a generous 5, like before she did everything. And now she's going to, at her, after ruining her body and being in her 30s, she's going to try to open an account because she thinks she's going to be like that's proper BPD thinking. Like, yeah, I'm super sexy. People are going to eat me up. And it's just like, no, bro, you're gross. And you're supporting a system that is gross, and you're supporting gross people in doing it, and you're hurting the kids in Gaza because you have to feed your ego and get told that your butt's pretty or whatever. You're dumpy frumper. You have a nice dumpy frumper, Anisa. That was worth it. Another kid just got shot in the head in Gaza because of you, but you got your compliment. Trisha Paytas, by the way, is in the top 1%. So it's like ultra fetish content and like the top, like the most attractive women. And then the other 10% are people who are doing other fetish shit to covet that, like the remaining market. And then they do the one-on-one conversations where they pretend to like be interested in the men talking to them. So it's just like the most disgusting, like it's the actual gutters of the world. And she's so reprehensible, and I despise her. But I encourage people when they talk about Ian, don't say Anisa ruined him. He ruined himself. He's an adult man. You got the woman who is she's evil, and she's screaming at him. But it's his choice to take the ball and give it back to her, okay? He's weak. And that's all I have to say about that. It does him a favor when you deny him accountability for his own life. Oh, no, I forgot these comments as well. These were related to Anisa. Hold up. She called PPP a Nazi. Someone just leaked DMs to me showing that Ian's bitter ex-boxing coach and wife were hate-watching the Nazi duo Kino Casino, who had been obsessed with me and Ian for years. She's calling PPP a Nazi. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I think about Aryan Übermensch, nothing comes to mind more than PPP. PPP, hold up. He can... Okay, here we go. We got him. He would make the nice Hermann Göring. No, don't block me, you piece of... God, I hate Reddit. Okay, there we go. There we go. Reich officer, PPP. He's fat. He's goose stepping. He wears brown, chat. And there was something else that she said that was dumb. I forget what it is. She says a lot of dumb shit, chat. All right, we're rounding out the cow zone, getting towards the end. I have a little bit on H3. Do I want to play this?
Not go.
I don't know. That doesn't sound funny. That doesn't sound funny. Just want to play this part, I think. I'm going to skip through all this. Kino Casino will cover all this, I'm sure. I'll watch every second of this. I don't really care. I just want to see this part, okay? If you follow the Anisa Idubbbz stuff, it has been mentioned many times that there exists a man out there in the universe known as Gorgeous Gabe. And it was alleged by the boxing coach that Gorgeous Gabe was so gorgeous that Anisa Jamha, the married woman, would only actively participate in her husband's sparring matches if her husband was sparring against Gorgeous Gabe, because apparently he was such a sight to behold that Anisa could not help herself, and she would get a little bit spry and frisky at his visage. So here we have H3 and the return of the boxing guys. Apparently, by the way, the boxing coach and his wife will be doing an interview with Kino Casino. Apparently, Kino Casino has pulled Jeremy Hambley, the quartering, and also the boxing coaches for Idubbbz. Thanks in part to Idubbbz giving them a huge boost. They're getting big interviews now. So good for them. I guess this can be explained in detail, but H3 had him back on, and the boxing coach is going to be watching them fight. And apparently the emphasis here is on Anisa's attention to Gorgeous Gabe. Let's take a look.
Let me just stay zoomed in on her.
Yeah, she's in love.
Incoming.
I'm trying to manually track her face.
Yeah.
It's not pretty, but
The first time Gabe actually punches Ian in the sparring, Anisa actually smiles. That was in the first round.
And also in the video is one of my other pro fighters at the time, Ryan Ishmael, and he was trying to train for a pro fight during Ian's camp. So like 2 weeks I missed in Florida helping Ryan train for his professional fight that he won. But it's like I missed 2 weeks of one of my actual fighters' camps because of working with you. And he would get so frustrated with Ian because he would hear shit online when she'd be like, oh yeah, oh, this is actually what it is.
This is the Godzilla part.
Yeah, she compares Gabe to Godzilla.
So here's what she said in response to that. Okay.
Look at how awkward she is. Why is she... she's just standing upright, but there's something about how frigid she is that makes me think of like an NPC in a video game. She's basically T-posing. Why is she like it's like her animation cycle's broken. Now she's just T-posing. Somebody has to like reset her animation cycle. She forgot how to move. She's no longer respirating. She's about to die frozen solid on the floor.
Actually, I want to show the
No, rigid and frigid. Come here. I'm not making a mistake here.
It feels good. I was hoping it'd be like, yeah, that felt good. Some more of that. Good, but it was immediately like.
You know what it looks like? It looks like she really, really has to take a shit, and those cheeks are just ironclad, locked together. If she moves, there's a chance of her shitting her pants. That's what. I hate to be disgusting here, chat, on this podcast that's usually family friendly, but she's just so awkward. Why is she standing like that?
Oh, shit.
It's like shooting a big Godzilla and the Godzilla doing nothing.
Yeah.
Just knowing, like, all right.
What a dumb idiot weirdo. What is
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
contribution?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So Gabe, so in this analogy, Gorgeous Gabe is Godzilla. The great Godzilla, and
Yes.
Ian
Yes.
is probably like a side monster. He's not even like a main monster.
Okay. I think Idubbbz has been thoroughly humiliated at this point. Is there anything really left to say about him? Like, his existence is just so sad and tortured. What a terrible life. What a terrible existence. And all he does is just goes on stream and he copes about how no, everything's fine and everyone's just overreacting. It's like, okay, bro, whatever you say, man. The numbers are inflated because I have X open and X lies about their statistics, basically. I don't know how many you can subtract, but I see 1.7 on Rumble and 2.1. So it's about 3. That's actually pretty good. 3.8 is pretty good, actually. The YouTube shit's really working out. And then probably like 100 plus on X. That's how it usually goes.
Oh man.
Oh
my God. This is so fucking good. What the hell? Oh my God.
It's like his brain is reprogrammed so that everything he feels, he just 180s. It's like he has to pause it. I feel like he's physically cringing because it's so terrible and he has to live react to it. Like when they switch over, Like the people, the Aboriginals laugh because they know that their shit's fucking garbage. I think that's why they're laughing, because they realize that it's so stupid. And then he's like, "Oh, well, I have to like this because of reasons." So he just says, "Oh my god, this is so good!" Like if he's been abducted by like a psychotic woman who's force feeding him terrible food that she cooked, and he just has to pretend that it's good so that she doesn't kill him. It's kind of like that, chat. Okay, Idubbbz stuff. Here's apparently an embarrassing clip from Idubbbz. Ready?
No, dude, I know how this shit works. Thank you, Paul. No, I know that people aren't going to be God, I think I need to go and pee. No, dude, I know how this shit works. Thank you, Paul. No, I know that people aren't going to be God, I think I need to go and pee. No.
Did he receive a text message? Idubbbz reminded to go pee via text from Anisa.
Oh, dude, I know how this shit works. Thank you, Paul. No, I know that people aren't going to be God, I think I need to go and pee.
That's a bit of a stretch. I don't know if that's actually if he's being reminded by text. I mean, there's several things that could be going on here, right? He could be looking at a text message from Anisa, right? And then he's like thinking, and he's very slow, and he's just like, he's interrupted by the thought, "Oh, I have to go pee," and it's not related. It could be that she is telling him to go pee, but then a third option is he's not looking at his phone. He's looking at his pants, and his pants are starting to soak through with piss, and he's like, "Oh no, I should get up and go take care of this." So it could be any of those things. I choose to believe that he's pissing himself and watching it happen in real time as he thinks about this. It's his birthday, so Anisa baked him a cake. Where's the picture? I have like a bunch of pictures of them enjoying birthday cake together. Let's just pan through it real quick. There's a picture of her where see, I was really confused when I saw it. I think this is like one of the pictures of it, but it's a picture of her, and Idubbbz had tried to put on her makeup and only put on her foundation. So her face is like extremely off-colored and greasy looking, and it just looks terrible. And it was really shocking to see her like that. Okay, so this is the cake. It looks terrible. It looks like dog food. It looks like a dog cake. I don't know how else to put that. The dog is literally eating the cake. Okay. He eats it. He just looks... There's just something about his face, his expression, where he just has like this constant state of misery over every single thing. Every minute of his existence just seems agonized. Maybe he should like put the camera lower, because like the way that like it hovers over him and it just hides his face. It's just like the most depressing guy ever to live.
Varg Skeletor mentioned you a lot back in the day. Yeah, Varg Skeletor was a big fan. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. It's really hard because I think there's a lot of people who liked my content back in the day because there was a lot of, for lack of a better word, dog whistling to a certain type of ideology. And I've really come to believe that that was... Like, I was very fear-motivated with a lot of my ideology, and I've moved away from a lot of it because it wasn't making my life better, and it was hurting a lot of people. And so I do sometimes worry that a lot of these relationships that I have, not even like, they're not major relationships, right? It's more so connections with people, other content creators, and I'm like, I don't know if you liked in the same way I look at some fans and I'm just like, I don't know what you connected with. And sometimes it's hard because I'm like, I don't know. If
Is this really a mystery? Like I think the only video that I ever watched of his that I liked, aside from the squirrel videos, which I don't feel like they're alt-right dog whistles, unless the squirrels are allegories for brown people or something. But the Leafy is Here video didn't have any dog whistles. It was just funny to see somebody who was like a snobby cunt get made fun of. You know, that doesn't have a deeper meaning to it. People like it when bad things happen to bad people. And when you act like a asshole, everybody wants to beat up on you. And they find that funny because you're an asshole and you deserve it. Does he really have 1,700 subs? That's a lot. Times 5 times 6. That's like $5,000. That's pretty good. You can almost afford rent in Canada now. It's crazy, Chad. The bar is so low on Twitch. What the this content passes as like high quality on Twitch. That's crazy. Those are Prime subs. Yeah, no. People just like to see people get made fun of. Okay. Let's read the notes, okay? Ian is saying on his live stream that he's making a new video, might be a new content cop. He says he wants to make more videos on pieces of shit that deserve it. Anisa is baking the cake during the stream. Ian says she'll be lurking. Ian talks about Casey Tron leaning in on being an innocent white woman. He says he loves that about Casey Tron. Okay. He has difficulty reading some email he got from a business account from someone glazing him. He doesn't know what trans mask means. What's happening on the news is validating what is happening to me online. It says seeing all the chronically online shooters confirms his worldview, mentions the ICE shooting. Ian insinuates Varg Skeletor, Joel from Vinesauce, only liked his content because Joel was a dog whistler, like many other channels in 2016. Oh, I thought he meant the other Varg, like the Nazi. Okay, I never watched Vinesauce. Sorry, I was never a big Vinesauce fan. I just thought that the Varg Vickers, that guy was shouting him out. I guess I'm not though. He wants to de-radicalize 2016 Idubbbz likes and wants to tell them they don't have to be scared and don't have to listen to losers who have never had a day of therapy. Like that's there's a song I played for the outros of one of my songs where it's like the song is called like I'm sorry, and it's like satirical, and it's like I'm working on myself and I'm going to therapy and I'm trying to become a better person, I promise. And it's like this weepy bullshit. It's like, believe it or not, therapy didn't exist back in the day. People just got the over shit. He meant deprogram instead of de-radicalize. Okay, let's see what this is. Let's just watch the clips.
What in the world?
This also seems to be recorded at 3 frames per second. That's ideal. The ideal format, they don't tell you this, is 3 frames per second.
In the world?
I will never be able to enjoy clips from my streams ever.
What? What the fuck?
I don't know how anyone could watch clips of Idubbbz and not immediately think of one word: lobotomized. Same with Keffels. It's like you watch these SSRI zombies and you're just like, there's something wrong with you. The machinations of your brain are gunked up and shitty. You can't think. You can't react normally. It's like if you're trying to use a computer and it's really laggy, and there's like a multi-second delay between you moving your mouse and getting a reaction, so it makes really fine actions extremely difficult and cumbersome. It's like watching Idubbbz is interacting with something where there's a multi-second delay, and you're just kind of like sitting there thinking like, what the f is wrong with you? Okay, I see how this is. I'm not going to be able to watch any of these videos.
What in the world?
25 subs, eating into the microphone.
We just had a mega gift.
So is that why it's so high? It's like you have a
An
specific
anonymous
training
gifter
whales.
Just gifted 25 subs. Oh, man.
You gotta say,
I don't know who they
whoa,
are.
buddy.
I don't want them to be anonymous. Thank you so much, anonymous gifter. You just 25. That covers the whole chatterino.
That's
That means
depressing.
Jessica, you were saying some nice things in the chat. They gifted you a sub. It's so funny. One of these has got to be like Giardia or Nate or another loser who got gifted a sub.
So I mean, if you just lowered the camera, he wouldn't have this excruciating look of agony on his face all the time. It's just like the least flattering angle possible.
What the fuck?
You know, also, I didn't even mention that he like complains that his haters might have gotten a gifted sub, as if anyone gives a like. If you don't participate in the chat, there's no point in getting the gifted sub, anyways. But it would be like a PPP. Like he gets his 100 sub bomb, and he's like, "Whoa, buddy!" But you know what? That means that Idubbbz and Anisa might have gotten a gifted sub on Kick. That loser. Like, what a weird thing to be like sultry about.
No.
Not sultry, salty chat. Salty.
What are you doing here, you ugly thing?
Dude, why are they all the same? These old British women. What are you doing here, you ugly thing? Off, you ugly caterpillar. You look like shit to me.
Look, when he's making fun of this ugly caterpillar, look at this. Look, instant replay.
What are you doing here, you ugly thing? Off, you ugly caterpillar. You look like shit to me.
He like lights up, his eyes open, he reclines in his chair, he lifts his head up so you can see his face, and he like naturally starts ribbing on this caterpillar. When he's able to just make fun of something how he wants to, he like, it's like the sparks in his brain start flicking back on again. He has his inner child rips out for a second, and he's able to just relax and be present in the moment. And then it's like evil Idubbbz comes back in and shoves his inner child back into the box, the crate, and locks it up.
Die! Go down to the soil and die with a fat, ugly worm. I'm a beautiful flying creature. You are fat and ugly, and you don't have wings. You are earthbound. Go to the soil.
Monster!
What? By the way, I'm pretty sure with this new patron goal.
See,
look
at how he listen. Okay, listen to this.
Well, we're gonna get the soundboard going.
I'm gonna go back to here.
Caterpillar, you look like shit to me. Die! Go down to the soil and die with a fat, ugly worm.
You hear how fast he's talking?
I'm gonna order a soundboard once stream's over.
Hey guys, I think I'm gonna order a soundboard from Elgato so we can have a soundboard. I think that's what people do on streams, guys. It's like Eeyore. We got Eeyore Ian over here being sad.
And we'll play sounds. A lot of good sounds because, oh man, there's so many. A lot will be taken from the harassment podcast, okay? One soundbite I'm thinking of specifically is when him and the rest of those losers basically were all like, what the hell? Your video's making us think, or some shit like that. It's not even funny. Idubbbz really just wants us to sit down and think? It's like, yeah, bitch, I do. I don't know if it'll fit into a soundbite, but we'll see. Zavatno. It's a very interesting dichotomy. I think I used the word fat in my recent video. And I think at one point I just put on a goofy voice. I'm like, good job, Dan. Good job, Dan. And they actually had pearl clutching moments for both of those, and I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. And when I called Kate dumb as rocks, they were like, oh, no. How could you do this? They're making fun of Hila and Giardia's accents? That's really anti-immigrant of Idubbbz. They don't even believe it. It's crazy how they're trying to fight it on that front. It's like, no, you're the shit cast. You guys have no principles. You just, like, you want to do the shock jock thing, but you also want to pearl clutch because, I don't know, you think that that's a winning strategy? Makes you feel like you're a good person? No, you're not. You're not good people. You're bad people.
You hear that? When he's trying to shit talk H3, he's happy again. He went from, oh, I guess I'll buy a soundboard. There's so many things I can put into my soundboard. Such as the time that Ethan Klein tried to get me on my own principles, as if that slimy Jew wiggling his way between my fingers could possibly find a moral high ground to stand on. You have nothing against me, H3. I wonder if that'll fit on the soundboard, though. It's quite long. Let's proceed to the other girl Cal who's popular, and that is, of course, Anisa Jamha. Anisa Jamha's husband, Idubbbz, has achieved a remarkable milestone of 7 million subscribers. Actually, he achieved that a while ago. He's actually dipped a full 1 mil below where he was at his peak. Idubbbz peaked at just below 8 million subscribers, and he's now down to 6.94 million. So big milestone. 1 million lost subs is actually pretty remarkable. Not many people, even really big ones that have huge scandals, lose that much. By the way, there was who was that gay guy who he had like his own makeup line and shit. And I remember he had a scandal where he was like accused of butt some guy against his will, and he got super mega canceled, and he lost James Charles. Yeah, James Charles. I remember that's why they changed that system, by the way. They used to be able, if you like pulled the YouTube API endpoint for subscriber count, you'd get like the actual subscriber count. And after James Charles lost like 2 million subscribers in a day, and everyone was live watching his subscriber count go down in real time, YouTube like manually changed the API so that it would round down to like the nearest 10,000 or whatever if you had 1 million subs, so that you couldn't do that anymore because people made a game out of like unsubscribing from him. Idubbbz has fallen apart, right? So then this video or post made some stirs, but I think it's all clickbait. Anisa posted that she was stenciling drawings in for a nursery room, and I guarantee you it's like her sister or her friend or something is expecting, so she's helping design the nursery. But everyone's like, oh my god, is Anisa having a baby? No, Anisa's not having a baby. I don't think even Idubbbz is that stupid. I think he's too soy now anyways. I'm pretty sure that Idubbbz swimmers are all dead. They all hang themselves. He's not making it anymore. And then she posted this, okay? She posted this on Instagram and said, come join my other Instagram channel where I post spicy content. And this is the picture she used to advertise. And I don't usually do this because she's a hoe. But everyone knows her. Everyone knows she's a hoe. I talk about her anyways. But it's like, this woman is like completely incapable of flattering herself. Everything that she does just makes her look so like, you can like the angle is unflattering. You can see her razor burn. And it's like, what is wrong with you mentally where you are completely incapable of being attractive? You just can't do it at all. Yeah, it's like a lizard. It's like if you if you took me and put it in a woman's body. Like, this is the kind of shit that actually transformed into a woman would try to do to look sexy. And it's like, ew. It's like uncanny valley for a real woman. It's like, how do you do this? So it's bizarre. Then we have a little bit of Anisa and Idubbbz. So this is supposedly J.K. Rowling's worst nightmare. You ready? The house elf slave, and he's saying trans rights and burping. I don't know what it is with him being obsessed with being as like physically vile as possible. And then Anisa dressed up as Alan Rickman. I guess she does a pretty good job. There's not really like any synergy between the two costumes besides just making him look gimpy. But then he says this.
You see, she's in the darkness. She's haunting me. Gobi.
She does kind of look like Alan Rickman, though. That's pretty good. They should just They should cast her. They want to make everyone like black and like gender swap them. Cast Anisa to be Snape. She's kind of evil too. She's got that vibe.
Likes what he sees. Gobi loves that. Do something for old Gobi. Yeah, Gobi loves boots. Gobi loves a woman in boots.
What is she doing?
Gobi loves a sexy Snape. Gobi's in the femdom.
It is definitely like a fetish. I heard that she failed to get her leg. Watch.
Gobi loves that.
She tries to like get it up and then she can't do it because she's like inflexible.
Oh, Gobi.
She's inflexible. She's unable to get her leg up. I know I think that's Idubbbz' main problem is that she can't get her leg up. There you go. The whole thing. Why is he doing it? Because he has a fetish. He gets his pee-pee hard. As with all confusing things in life, why does he do it? He gets his pee-pee hard. Shocker. Really crazy stuff. I miss the old Idubbbz is apparently a subreddit. And then someone's asking, is this subreddit full of just hate watchers? Honestly, not even a part of the sub, but for some reason this shit keeps getting suggested to me. So no, most of you guys need a life. Like, holy shit, y'all post more about these two dorks than the fans. Yeah, no shit. You guys are some kind of gay, to be honest, and simping over people you hate. Mods, just go ahead and ban me from this. Mods, ban me right now. Ban me from this sub so I don't have to keep seeing this gay little circle jerk of dorks with no life. Go play a video game or talk to a girl. I don't know. Y'all wasting your life hating two people who don't seem to care. Starting to understand why this gay subreddit was made. This is him, I believe. He's in Pay Money Wubby. Let me make sure that's right. It is. Chat, why am I single? Thanks for the help. Now, this is him calling people gay little dorks, okay? On a good day, I'm a 6. I'm a 6. On a bad day, I'm a 5. I'm a 5'11" legally. I can just say I'm 6 foot. I'm pretty average for a guy. Personality, caring, soft-hearted, gentle giant. I listen to reggae, to classic rock, so pretty much anything. You know the big two, right? Reggae and classic rock. The whole gambit. I mean, just look at how lovable and cuddly I am. This man's a racist. You know my rule. Anytime anyone says that they're a nice guy, they're super lovey and cuddly, and they just, I don't even want to have sex. I just want to feel it. I just want to cuddle. That man, violent, sadistic. That man has gotten every achievement in caring for my little slave girl, the visual novel. Okay, that's what's happening here. And then another comment saying, no, you're actually right. Haven't had a chance to shave the head again since I took this pic. My head razor broke. I'm looking a little homeless too. I call this laid off for a month look. Laughing, crying. So this guy looks like Wings of Redemption. He loves Anisa and Idubbbz' content, and he can't get laid. The tragic story. Speaking of the internet ruining people, Idubbbz has published a video called Is Trump Trolling Secretly Based? And this is his worst performing video of all time. After 2 days, it did not break 100,000 views. It's one of his least performing videos ever created. It is fewer views than his 11-year-old reboxing video of a GTX 770. To give you an idea of how long ago this was, he was playing with a GTX 770 the last time he performed this poorly, okay? This means that he is experiencing a 93.5% decrease in views, despite being an almost 8 million subscriber channel at some point in time. Fascinating. Then, I guess I'll do this in reverse order, okay? I have nothing to say about this because my take on this was yelled at. Apparently, snake people are the most autistic demographic of internet users, and I don't give a fuck. So I'll just say this straight, okay? Anisa adopted an African snake called a ball python. If you don't know, they live in Alberta, Canada. So they're going to have to pay to heat the fucking cage for this thing. But apparently this is no big deal. Apparently a ball python does literally nothing. It sits in a hole, and then when it's hungry, it comes out and eats, and then it sits in its hole again, and then it takes a shit. And it does this on like a 2-week interval. So there's literally no care or maintenance involved in having this snake, and therefore it is actually the best snake possible. This is what I was told. I featured this saying it was probably a bad idea, and everyone, literally, I got like literally 100 people who are snake people said, no, ball pythons are not dangerous, and they're super easy to care for, and they're like an entry-level snake, and blah, 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 blah. My theory, here's my theory when it comes to snakes, ready? If you own a reptile or insects, or even a bird, fuck birds. Well, I can't say that because of Terry Davis. Okay, birds are exempt. But if you own something that's like not a mammal as a pet, there's something wrong with you. And we can look at a mammal's face and understand its emotions, okay? We are related to them. They have many characteristics that we do. We can anthropomorphize them because they act in ways that are slightly familiar. There is nothing about a snake that looks human. It doesn't act human in any way, shape, or form. If you somehow find a snake or like hissing cockroaches as like good company, you probably should become like a mortician and dissect humans for a living because there's something wrong with you. Okay? Fucking weirdos. Anyways, I got a snake. If you feel like this is a good thing, press 1. If you feel like this is a bad thing, press 2. Let me know what you think in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe. And finally, the part I actually want to talk about. A while ago, I did a Gumroad review. By the way, mati.live.gumroad.com. I am one day going to post something that's not about cheese. Well, not, I promise. And I like money. I did a video about smashed and slammed pugs. It's actually a really good video. If you subscribe, you can go watch it right now and support the channel. Idubbbz was sent this video. He didn't pay for my Gumroad, unfortunately. He just stole it. Stole it off of YouTube, and he watched apparently 7 minutes of my smash and slam review, and nobody told him that this was me. So I don't know what kind of reaction we're looking for here, chat. If you hear someone talking about dogs, it sounds like me. That's me from the past. Okay, I'm going in for a live reaction here. This is 2x Pimpy, 3x Bape. Idubbbz's reaction.
Oh, here we go.
There's like a task, like, oh, I need a dog that's really good at herding sheep, and then you have a border collie, which has a instinct that doesn't exist in nature that we created in a dog to facilitate herding sheep. And then those dogs will play with kids and herd them together too. And they're very useful and they have purposes for both farms and families. What the fuck they're trying to accomplish in terms of the rest? Like, look at this shit.
They're trying to make a fucking Goku. They're like, man, if I try hard enough, I might be able to make Goku into a real life thing.
I'm gonna make
a
Goku
muscular naked mole rat, dude. It is fucked up.
But they're trying. How embarrassing. Some of these are new to me. I'm not even. I don't know how I missed this one. This Goku ass fucking dog. They're like AI generated dogs. This is
starting to move. This team has been sitting for a year, so we're gonna go ahead and quickly throw this in our female, get the breeding done, and hopefully have some nice puppies on the way. All right.
Dude, they need to be banned from going to the breeding store or wherever the fuck, wherever they're at.
The breeding store? What?
They need to be banned from it. We don't need this. You need a license to breed dogs, please.
This is the IRS reports from the American Kennel Club. And Gold Country Bully Camp takes credit for their success, as you can see in the reports from 2016.
Just stick with an American Bully or a Rot. Yeah, I mean, there's such a plethora of dog breeds that you can pick from if you really want to be special. There's all sorts of rare ones if you're looking for rarity. You don't need to like invent your own weird inbred thing that like it takes like, what is it, like multiple centuries to create a new dog breed or some shit?
He is like the least articulate. Am I this inarticulate, chat? He really struggles to get even a single thought out.
Like I think the example people use is, I want to say it was the Rat Terrier or the Jack Russell, right? It was the Jack Russell is like one of the few that was bred in one person's lifetime. It could exist in one person's lifetime. This is like, I don't know. This is just some weirdo shit.
In 2021, their income has almost doubled. General person showing with the crazy competition coming out, like this bad boy here, G thing. This is another bull I can't wait to see. He's been taking trophies statewide, and August 3rd he'll be in California. I think the nice thing about getting a react from Idubbbz is that it's not kosher to make fun of my voice for being a vocal fry. So he's normally someone would say, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Why does he sound like this? But not Idubbbz. He knows that that's not okay to say. That's mean. I have a serious debilitating illness where I sound suicidal and like I'm going to cry at any moment. And it's not okay to make fun of that chat. California at the WBR.
Genetic sequencing is allowing them to pick out specific eggs and speed up the selection process a good bit. Oh, that's crazy. I didn't even think about that. We're looking at some of that shit in humans. But yeah, realizing that they could do it for dogs and people won't even feel bad about it. Well, some people will.
Main event Bully Expo. We appreciate you about they kind of hype up.
Dude, they go crazy for this shit too. They have expos.
I didn't even, dude, this was so long ago that the Jeet stuff wasn't even a thing. But it's like, my good sir, I have much izzat. My pit bulls are very izzat, sir. Many people will give me money for my pit bulls, which is great. Is izzat an honor to my family.
Oh my fucking god. It's so fucked up.
He sees Legit and he's just like in dismay. Like, it's disgusting.
It fucking... And you don't even know the extent of the pain that it's feeling. That's the worst part about it, is it can have a plethora of like internal issues that you are just like not even remotely aware of. There's a lot of fucked up shit on the outside already. But you just got to imagine that its internals are just all over the place. Ugh.
I mean, you don't have to be that mean. He's just Indian.
Dude, why are they naming these dogs Uranus? That's not badass. It looks like a fucking little turd, and you've named it Uranus. Welcome, Uranus, to China, Shenyang. Thank you, my good friend Virgil Kodrut, for letting me get Uranus. I've been looking for top Merle stud. When I see Uranus, I can't take my eyes away. He is the most complete Merle stud I've ever seen. He has thick bones and an exaggerated big head. Perfect structure. And he is clean. What about his his limbs that are 1 inch long? It's pronounced Uranus? Yeah, but it's funnier for me to say Uranus. Dude, that ain't perfect. He doesn't have legs. Like, what if you breed away their legs and it's just a fucking noodle. That's
the pit bull is like so disgusting that it even makes Idubbbz. He gets to make fun of something again. He gets to point out like physical imperfections and actually ridicule something again for being disgusting and deformed, like he used to do. And it like sparks a little light back in his soul. And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's not perfect. It's like the episode from Courage the Cowardly Dog. You're not."
probably what they're going for. Yeah, you're gonna end up making it a snake with a mammal's butthole. A snake with no cloaca. You're gonna have to hover it over the grass. This is horrendous.
Yeah, look at his eyebrows are so furrowed. He's just so angry.
They look so normal as puppies as well. Like the lineup, not these. Holy shit. I clicked on one that showed like a little litter. Like, those could be fucking normal ass dogs. And then you fucking, you buy it from someone and you realize like, oh my good God, it's completely deformed.
You could make this, you could take this clip and put it over like a picture of like white Christian families that adopt black babies. And then you can make it sound like the most racist tirade that's ever happened.
And it's got medical issues out the ass. Dude, the big swoop back, that is not good for your dog's spine. These things are probably like $10,000. Yes, it's horrendous. Oh yeah, I will. This baddie is nasty in a great way.
Ew.
What the fuck does that mean?
Trying to fuck
Definitely
that dog.
one of my best productions. Girl is a Roddy Rich daughter and hopefully holding the truth pups. If she took, I can't wait to see these. They might be some of the best to date.
Swaggerville Bullies 03 LLC is this name, by the way. Okay, that's the entire Idubbbz segment. I think after that he gets angry and just ends it. But that was cute. A nice little crossover. Had nothing bad to say. He liked my video. Okay, exposing him. Cino for 10 says Catbox.
Oh
awesome.
my good God.
I played this as an intro.
It's completely deformed. And it's got medical issues out the ass.
Very good. Thank you.